As we begin, well, I think they can tell it better than I can. The convent is an amazing place. When there aren't any nuns or children around, there's no wind noise, no birds, no animals, no rustling in the trees, not even distant traffic noise. Little did anybody realize the nuns made all those noises themselves to make the place feel more natural for the children.
Please get my airplane, sister.
Now look, Ace, you've scored 1 direct hit and 3 possibles. That's enough missions for any kid with a sore throat.
And now we know what we need to know. Felix there is under the weather and had to stay behind, and Sister Bertrille is his babysitter.
I think I'll fly the kite now.
I think you will take a nap now.
I'd listen to Sister Bertrille if I were you, Felix. I have a feeling that's Charlie Brown's kite-eating tree on steroids. We have one more little bit of exposition to do, and then we can get the story rolling.
Now for news of local interest. While being taken into custody, an alleged bank robber escaped early this morning, according to police reports. The fugitive, Ignacio Ferrante, is believed to be hiding out in the vicinity of Santanco. And now news.
Just what she needed to hear. It's a fairly common story trope, but I have to give them one thing. At least it's not a dark and stormy night.
Now just get hold of yourself. Just because you're alone in the convent with a sick kid is no reason to fall apart. Yeah? If that's no reason, what is? Now calm down and try to remember you're under the protection of our fearless captain of police, Captain Femento.
On the other hand, a dark and stormy night might offer better protection. At least Sister Bertrille finally put on some music so the silence isn't quite so eerie. And when you're an eager, vibrant young novice who's used to being busy all day, boredom tends to be your worst enemy.
Dope, try to remember that you're in the convent Santanco, not Dracula's castle.
In case you didn't catch it, the name of the book she's reading is The Ghost Caper. With a name like that, it has to be a murder mystery, which is the most brilliant subject she could have chosen to read about.
Hello. This is Lupe. Can I come over?
Well, sure.
You won't believe what I've been through. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. He's driving me loca.
He is, huh?
I'll tell you all about it when I come over.
It'll take Lupe a little bit to realize she has a wrong number.
Listen to a word I say, and last night he left the house and didn't get back till morning.
Oh, maybe he's visiting a sick friend.
A dog visiting a sick friend?
Calling your husband names isn't gonna...
Husband? I'm talking about my dog. Who is this?
This is Sister Bertrille.
I was calling Constantina.
Oh. Does this mean you're not coming over?
I guarantee I'm a good listener. She decides a short flight is what she needs to settle her nerves. Felix is napping and Sister Bertrille is flying, so the place is empty. He can't understand it. Something very strange is going on around here. He has an entire lab for testing consumable-based evidence right there in his stomach, and this evidence is going there. Moving on, he finds something else odd. It was a fact of life in the 50s and 60s that even if you didn't smoke, you were expected to make accommodations for those who did. This was true whether it was a place of business or your own home. Very few people had no smoking homes. Thankfully, once my dad quit when I was about 6, our home became one of them, but we were the oddity. Most smokers just assumed you were okay with them lighting up in your house. That attitude is why the good captain just assumed whatever that was on Reverend Mother's desk is an ashtray. They'll wander around and bump into each other, and Sister Bertrille says, "Am I glad to see you? There's an intruder in the convent."
Latikia, a pinch of Cavendish, and a drop of Virginia. Low and tar, very high in nicotine, and you get a coupon with every pack.
That's wonderful. How do you know that?
It's my cigarette, sister.
Anyway, he just came over to warn the Reverend Mother about Ignacio Ferrante, which she already heard about on the radio.
You're not going to leave, are you?
The sooner I go, the sooner Ferrante will be captured.
Wouldn't you like some coffee?
No, you don't understand. This
And
is an
some cherry
all-point
cream
bulletin.
pie?
Well, all police officers from here
Alamode?
to San Filippo, they're going... You have any vanilla ice cream?
Tons of it.
I just will have 3 scoops, and that's all.
At last, something I like about the captain. Vanilla ice cream is my big weakness, too. Bribe me with that, and I may give more serious consideration to what you're saying. But let's consider the captain here. There's an escaped criminal in the area. He's desperate and running from the law. Captain Fomento has been informed that he has an unarmed young woman and a sick child here by themselves. And the best he can offer them is this.
Oh, there's really nothing to worry about. In fact, you can take it out of your mind completely. But do not open the doors to strangers, especially if he wears a mustache.
He is a paragon of that famous police motto, to serve and whatever that other thing was. After 2 helpings of ice cream and 2 huge slices of pie, he waddles out and goes on his way.
And now for the news of the local scene. There are no new developments in the search for the alleged bank robber who escaped from the police while in custody early this morning. According to the Santanco police officials, the man is known as Ignacio Ferrante. He is 6'4", weighs 230 pounds, and has a black mustache.
It's not hard to see what he's thinking, and the convent is a perfect place to hide out. If you're a friend of the channel, you might recognize Cliff Osmond. We've seen him I don't know how many times, including twice on Land of the Giants. Today, he's a smart criminal.
Yes?
My poor automobile is in need of water. I would deem it an act of mercy if I could get some here.
Okay, come on in.
The smartest criminals always travel with a razor, but I suspect he already knew that. He fills his gasoline can with water and we won't even ask, and now he needs to get going.
I'd consider it a great favor if you'd stay for a while.
Sister, are you trying to keep me here?
Well, frankly, yes. You see, there's this escaped bank robber lurking around, and, well, I'm afraid to be alone.
He says, "I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. A criminal would have no reason to bother someone like you in a place like this."
Not if he was clever. I mean, who'd think of looking for him here?
Forgive me for saying this, sister. I mean it only in the greatest respect, but you have a very good criminal mind. Cherry pie, huh? Yeah, on second thought, I think I will stay and have some iced tea and cherry pie.
That's the problem with descriptions based on things like facial hair. Change it a little, add a couple of accessories, and suddenly you're somebody else.
I feel so much safer knowing there's a man around the convent.
Especially a man the size of a Sasquatch. He'll intimidate any desperado that comes around these here parts. She'll keep him around as long as she can, but he does need to get going.
Now, you said we were alone.
Don't frighten the child. Felix. Hello, how are you? Come on in. Felix, this is Senor Smith. That looks like a gun, doesn't it? Well, it's not. It's one of those things that shoots blanks. You know when they start races?
That was foolish, Ignacio. The dude seems to forget he's in a convent. Not too many armed guards in such a place. In fact, as far as I know, he's the only one. But now that he tipped his hand, he's not going anywhere. He'll stay right here with his new friends. Just don't call them hostages. It sounds so mean.
No. Let me see, where were we? Oh, yes, about me calling the police. May I make a suggestion?
Yes, certainly.
Give yourself up.
It's more like you. Don't spoil it with stupid remarks.
That must be Captain Fomento coming back.
The police?
Santanco's finest. You might as well give yourself up. You're practically surrounded.
But I don't surround easy, sister. And if I am caught, I will take you and the boy with me.
Why? What purpose would it serve? That's something I've never understood. Fomento noticed a broken down car in front of the convent and thought he should check it out.
Suspicious because
Captain,
I've
have
never
you met
seen
the Mother
stuff.
General?
She can't stop and talk. She's taken a vow of silence. She communicates by writing.
Incidentally, did you tell the Mother General about the...
She knows. She knows.
Fear not, Mother General, because we know that Ignacio Ferrante will not be able to escape our dragnet.
Did you hear that, Mother General?
Why? Good question. I will show you why.
Brilliance Incorporated will lay out his whole plan for roadblocks, searches, all of it.
Mother General, would you be so kind as to keep an eye on Sister Bertrille? You know, she with the big heart that she has, she would invite the Jack the Ripper to supper. Well, I must be going.
He's not wrong, but before he goes, Mother General has a request.
You would like a gun for your protection.
I'm afraid of guns.
She's afraid of guns. I am not. She is not.
It's easy enough to do. He has a spare gun in the car, so he'll just give her the one he's carrying.
And the first rule is not to point the gun, no, because you see, it has a sensitive trigger.
And it will go off. Unless you put your hands on your head.
Yes, Ignacio already has a gun. The idea is to make it so the captain doesn't.
You will never get through the roadblock.
A captain of police driving the car, 2 nuns in the back seat, 1 holding a gun to the captain's head, will get through.
I believe you are right.
The thing is, as a police officer, Fomento really does take his job seriously, and he can't allow this.
I will not take another step.
Repeat that statement.
I think what he means is that he can't take another step because his boots are too tight.
No. I will not take another step because I choose not to. Ferrante, you will get to your car only over my dead body.
As you wish.
Sister Bertrille doesn't think this is the time to grow a spine, but he says, what else is there? Let's face it, most of the time my job is a joke.
Finding litter bugs, giving tickets for overtime parking, arresting jaywalkers. An opportunity like this comes but only once in a lifetime. Ferrante, as an officer of the law, I demand that you give yourself up without a struggle. Unless you wish to experience the true meaning of police brutality.
And just like that, he surrendered rather than face the awesome wrath of Captain Fomento.
I want you to witness a single-handed capture.
I'll testify to that.
You see, sister, the only way to treat a bully is to stand up to him.
She. You. Fly. In the air, like a bird. She fly like a bird in the air, like a bird.
Senor, if you think that you're going to get out of this by pleading insanity, you're out of your mind.
Don't even try, Ferrante. Somebody up there is telling you to take the rap, do your time, change your ways. The captain and the sister, sounds like an 80s soft rock group, are going to be interviewed on the local TV news. Elsewhere, Reverend Mother and the others heard about the whole thing on the radio.
Oh, Reverend Mother, you should have seen him. Those cold black eyes and that horrible sneer on his face, holding a gun at our heads. But Captain Fomento stood right up to him. Well, I've never seen a man so brave in the face of death. I mean, he was unarmed, facing a loaded gun held by a madman. It's a miracle Ferrante didn't just pull the trigger and blow our head.
I'm gonna give him that one. I've been in several of those situations where adrenaline or whatever takes over and you just do what you have to do, and it's only later when you come down from it that you start to think about what could have happened. I've never actually fainted like that, but I've come mighty close. So I'll let the captain have a pass this time. He didn't revive in time for the interview, so Sister Bertrille put a fake mustache on Felix and he sat in for it. Nobody in San Juan noticed. If you enjoyed this, please click the like button to let me and YouTube know you want to see more. If you're not subscribed yet, punch me in the mask here and get signed up so you don't miss a thing, because something is always happening here at Irving Zoo. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Not even distant traffic noise. Distant. I can say distant. Elsewhere, Reverend Mother and the others heard about the whole thing on the radio. Don't stumble this time. The captain and the sister sounds like an 80s soft rock group. Good grief. David, slow down! What? You little turd.